conference that I was allowed to take a delegation of people to was an Afro-Descendants conference. And that conference brought together people on the continent and people in the diaspora. The objective was, if the African Union was going to move very slowly on this idea of a United States of Africa, then maybe the push that was needed would be provided by people who are in the diaspora as well as grassroots Africans. And so people from all over the world of African descent were there in Tripoli, and it was the first time that I had seen kings and queens and princesses from Africa and the whole history and the lineage. I was totally unaware of the history and the presence and the importance of these particular personalities, and they were all, of course, there supporting the idea of a United States of Africa. Now, United States of Africa is also very important to also understand why it is that the United States and the NATO countries are so much against the leadership of Muammar Gaddafi and the leadership that Libya provides. One of the things that I learned, and one of the lines that you might have heard in the special interest press, is this idea that Muammar Gaddafi is not the president, he holds no leadership role. I did learn on this last visit that Libya has a very real tribal system. And actually, it is the chief of all of the tribes who is the real leader. And every Libyan national is a member of a tribe. And so that Libyan national votes on the leadership of the country through the tribal arrangement. And I think I see Akbar coming. Yes, I do. So there is a different kind of democracy that exists in Libya, and we have to be respectful of the different type of democracy that exists in Libya. So anyway, I go there, and I just happened to have been there on the night that NATO announced that it was going to intensify its bombing. Now, what that meant was that they did 29, as we counted them, between 26 and 29 bombs or missiles in one night. But that was nothing compared to what came afterwards. Because on one night, just a few days ago, there were 89 bombs or missiles launched in Tripoli alone. And when I say 89, can you imagine 89 bombs or missiles falling in San Francisco? Or 89 bombs or missiles falling in Oakland? And Tripoli is a city of 1.5 million to 2 million people. So the people are under attack. The people are under assault. And there is no place that is safe. There is a suspicion that they are using, that NATO is using depleted uranium. And of course, NATO has used depleted uranium everywhere they have bombed or sent missiles in. So there is probably, we can speak with assuredness, that not only are they destroying the lives of the people that are affected immediately, but they are destroying generations to come who will be impacted by the presence of this uranium. I have a film here that will give you a little bit of flavor. about what it's like to be there when these bombs are going off. I even feel it now. You talk about post-traumatic stress syndrome. And imagine our soldiers, if I have it, and I've only experienced it for about, what, 2 weeks. But every time there's a whiz, or a hiss, or a pop, or a boom, no matter what the origin is, you jump and you react to it. Imagine that every night. Imagine if you're in a hospital and they're bombing right next to the hospital, which they do. Imagine if you're a child and you're in school and they're bombing right next to the school. Imagine if you're taking exams, you're a university student, and you're in the middle of exams and they bomb your university. This is the kind of thing that's happening in Tripoli. It has nothing to do with a humanitarian intervention. They're creating a humanitarian crisis. The final thing I'll say before either we let Akbar come, because I think it's important. What Akbar brings is the historical context. There are many people who say that, who criticize the support that we give, not just for the Libyan people, but for Muammar Gaddafi. But as an African American, what I can say to you is that whether it was the Black Panther Party, or it was SNCC, or it was the All African People's Revolutionary Party, when black people were fighting the oppression and apartheid conditions in this country, it was the Libyan people and Muammar Gaddafi who answered the call. So I'm a newcomer on the block, but Akbar can talk about the concrete relationship that was built by black people who made it possible for me to sit in the Congress for 12 years, and that relationship that was bolstered and supported out of Libya by Muammar Gaddafi. So now, do you want to come up now? What's the, before we see the film?
Did Gaddafi buy you
Yes.
that suit?
Okay.
Hey, CIA, go home.
CIA, go home.
Well, one of the things that we have that we ought to understand is that the CIA has been active in buying people, and they bought people in Libya. They bought innocent Libyans instead of, can you imagine, somebody asking a foreign, former colonial set of countries to bomb their own country? It is unimaginable to me, and no matter how bad the situation has been in the United States, I would never think of asking someone to come in and bomb the United States.
Thank you so much, Cynthia, and we will have Cynthia back with the video after we hear from Mr. Muhammad. Akbar Muhammad is our next speaker. He is an international representative